We've now reached the final lesson of the course, and I'd like to wrap things up by offering you a couple thoughts that sort of bring everything together. Throughout this course, we've talked about not only how habits work, so the habit loop, cue, routine, reward, the habit cycle that we follow as far as making things achievable, appealing, and actionable, trying to make behaviors repeated, resilient, reinforcing. But we've also talked about the hidden forces that shape human behavior, things like environment or culture or technology and genetics, the way that we get feedback on our habits and behaviors and what keeps us on track. And it's the interaction of these forces, how they connect and link to one another, that actually leads to the habits and behaviors that we have each day. Human behavior is a complex thing. It's not a result of any one factor, it's a result of the collection of factors. And so by having all of these things working together and understanding how they work together, we can have a better grasp on how to build the habits that we want to build. And in order to do that, in order to kind of wrap things up in a tight package, I'd like to offer a metaphor. And that metaphor or that idea is about the difference between systems and goals. And a goal is important. It's the type of thing that we set for ourselves, the habits that we want to build, the milestones that we want to achieve. But it's not the thing that drives the result. It's not the thing that leads to a particular outcome. Instead, that is the system, the process that we follow that actually leads to the result. Let me give you some examples about the difference between systems and goals. If you're a basketball coach, your goal might be to win a championship, but your system is the process that your team follows at practice each day. If you're a writer, your goal might be to write a best-selling book, but your system is the writing process that you follow each week. If you're an entrepreneur, your goal might be to build $1 million business, but your system is the sales and marketing process that your team follows day after day. And so it's the system that drives the result. And when it comes to habits, I like to use the metaphor of a habit as a garden. And it's the system of the soil, which is kind of like the environment, and the fertilizer and the water and the sun, which is kind of like the feedback that provides the action of the plant. The seed is like the genetics that you have and determines what you blossom into. You can't turn a corn plant into a tomato plant, for example. And it's the connection of all of these forces that leads to whether or not you fully blossom and turn into the plant that you hope to be, reach the milestone that you hope to achieve, rather than any one individual force driving it, right? You can't just have a seed without the soil and hope for it to blossom into something. You can't just have the soil without a seed or without water or sunlight. It's the connection of all those forces. And so as you think about how to build better habits and behaviors, I'd encourage you to see each of these hidden forces, each of these tactics and techniques as a tool in your toolbox. And you can take those ideas and connect them in a way that works for you and your situation to get to the result that you want. But there's no magic strategy. There's no magic pill. You can't just apply one situational technique and hope that it'll work across the broad range of your life, or that one idea is all that you need to break through. It's a continual effort, a continual process, and I wish you the best as you go about it. Thank you so much for taking the course, and I hope that you found this useful.